So Scott Adams talks about, I'm reading it here, affirmations. How to fail at almost everything, the affirmations chapter. I think you can see that. How to fail at almost everything and still win big. Scott Adams talks about affirmations. But what if I was to tell you? And I'm rereading this chapter. I love it. Scott Adams has just died, of course, and I've just, after I found out he died, obviously it was a shock at first, but then I just dug out his books again and started reading them again. So I'm reading the How to Fail at Almost Everything again, and I'm also reading Reframe Your Brain again. And maybe I'll check out Win Bigly after that, but one thing at a time. So, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. The first thing I opened was the affirmations. I want to read the affirmations chapter again. Now, what if I was to tell you that affirmations in this book, Scott Adams says affirmations can seem like lucky breaks. He's very, very slow to say that affirmations are magic. He says he doesn't want people having magical thinking. He says that he got a lot of feedback that he was trying to persuade people, weak-minded people maybe. I don't know exact words he used, but he got a lot of feedback that he was trying to persuade people who may have been persuadable. And remember, he was a hypnotist. He was trying to persuade people that were persuadable that magic is real, or lead them into magical thinking. So he was very, very slow because of the feedback. And you can give me feedback, it's okay, you can call me out. I love it. Scott Adams was somebody. He was somebody really important. I'm not it, so it doesn't really matter. So what he's saying is that he is very slow about saying that this is magic. Don't have magical thinking. This is not magic. It just seems like a bunch of coincidences that happened. But I'm going to say, what if I said that what Scott Adams says here and in other books about affirmations is just a tip of the iceberg. Just the tip of the iceberg. And if you dig deep into this, you're going to begin to realize that affirmations, what's called affirmations, which is not, it's a more, and I'll go into it, it's more detailed than what he talks about in this book. What he talks about in this book, he says, I will be a cartoonist. and a bunch of coincidences happened for him. Now it's much more detailed than that, and he did a lot more than that. He's just not writing it all down. But if you dig into affirmations, you're going to find out that this is a Gaelic concept. About an everyday magic that the Gaelic people have. Just an everyday magic that the Gaelic people have, a daily practice. And this was normal daily life for Gaelic people. And in the Gaelic world, this, what's called affirmations in here that many people talk about, it had a special word, a magical word that was used. And the word that the Gaelic people used was Driact. The Driact, the feeling, the magic. I say a number of Gaelic words and none of them have an exact translation into English. Like you said, let a hole. Let a hole is, I guess you could say, the best translation that people have come up with is please. But it doesn't mean please. It's never meant please. It's not like please, please, please. It means more your will be done. Your as your will, as you. Amen is even a better translation than please. There's no word for please in the Irish language. The same as crack. There's no exact translation into the English language. And same with Driact. We can say magic. Maybe magic's the closest thing you can use. But there's no exact translation of Driact. Of the real Gaelic word of Driact. There's no direct translation to the English language. So what I'm going to say is the Driact, which Scott Adams connected into, wouldn't have said that word, wouldn't have ever called it Driact, wouldn't have known exactly what he was using. He calls it affirmations. in this chapter. And this is a good chapter. Buy this book and read the chapter if you want to. You can get it on Audible as well, but you get this on Amazon or probably all bookshops and on Audible. But it's which number is this? Chapter 24. Chapter 24 is all about affirmations, and they're really. You hear 24 and you may think that, wow, there's a lot of chapters. There is a lot of chapters, but they're really short and simple chapters. They're all really short and simple chapters, and you can read one and walk away if you want to. It's Driact. This is the magic. He talked about the tip of the iceberg as far as affirmations is concerned. He knew a lot more than he was writing. And maybe he was using it, he didn't fully know exactly what he was using. But this is Driact. This is Gaelic Driact. And this is in every Gaelic person. As I said before, Scott Adams was Gaelic. He had Gaelic blood at least. He may have had German blood and English blood and something like that as well, but he certainly had Irish blood too. And he was connecting him with this power. But this is the power that he failed to completely explain before he died. And I want to give just a little bit more detail on it. I'm going to talk about what he said. What he said was all valid and true. And reading this chapter is going to be really valuable to you. But I want to take it just slightly to the next level. And he was afraid of being blamed for giving people that people would have magical thinking, or they would think magic is real. But I don't care if you can say that I'm convincing people to do magical thinking. That I really don't care. This is a really important topic, and it should be talked about. And I'm going to talk about it now. Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. I'm going to say that Muhammad Ali was probably the greatest fighter, greatest boxer to ever exist. I'm going to say. Now, people will argue with me, Mike Tyson, there's other people, but I'm going to say that Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer to ever exist. I am the greatest. And Muhammad Ali believed in affirmations, what he called affirmations. Now, obviously, Muhammad Ali is not Gaelic. I don't know about all of his. I haven't checked out all of his history, but obviously he's not Gaelic. But it doesn't matter. This magic is within a lot of people, and Muhammad Ali had it. And he would say, "I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest," over and over again. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali. And now I am saying Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer ever to live. And many, many other people would say the same thing, Muhammad Ali. But it's not just Muhammad Ali. There's many, many famous, many successful people who say exactly the same thing. Conor McGregor is a great example. Jim Carrey is a really, really good example. There's many, many, many people who say, Jim Carrey talks about he wrote himself a check for, I can't remember the exact story, so all the facts are probably wrong, but just to give you an idea, I might not get all the facts wrong, but the feeling is right, that he wrote himself a check. I can't remember what the check was, maybe it was $1 million for acting services rendered or something, I'm not sure. He wrote himself a check and wrote a date on it, and he was paid that much for acting services rendered within that date. Now that doesn't mean it's going to happen for everybody. That doesn't mean it's going to happen for everyone, but it did happen for Jim Carrey. Conor McGregor also talks about the power of affirmation, talks about it quite a lot, about the power of affirmation. Obviously Muhammad Ali, who said it to us all as often as he could, I'm the greatest. And there's many, many others. Many, many others. And you may like these people, you may not like them. You may say, oh, Alan, all of actors now are are bad people now. We can't trust them anymore. This doesn't matter. This isn't the question here. There's many, many other people. Michael Jordan talks about it. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about it. There's many, many, many great people who talk about the power of affirmations. But I'm going to say that this originated in Ireland. This originated with the incredible thinkers in Ireland. And we call it Driact. We call it Gaelic Driact. Many, many times when you connect into your Driact, when you work at it, when you see things, when you feel them, you gotta feel it in your bones. You gotta feel it. That's the most important thing. When you connect into this Driact, it's going to look like It's going to look like coincidences. Lots of coincidences happen. And he talks about it in his book, The Coincidence. He wanted to be a cartoonist. He did affirmations. I am a famous cartoonist, or whatever his affirmation was. And a series of coincidences happen. And read the book to find out what the coincidences are. But I'll give you one example. One of his cartoon was taken, I think it was I can't remember if it said the West Coast or East Coast. I think it was the West Coast of America, but was never taken up on the East Coast. And you can check. This is just from memory. This is just from memory, reading this chapter twice. And there was one person who really didn't like the cartoon, and he never on the East Coast or whichever side it wasn't being taken up, and they wouldn't show it to anyone. And something happened. I can't remember. I think it was something really bad. I think he died or something. But something happened to that person, and the person who took over loved the cartoon. I said, yes, maybe that's a coincidence. And he says in this chapter, maybe that's a coincidence. I'm going to say that this is Gaelic Driact. Not that we want really bad things to happen to people, but sometimes things just happen and things fit in together, and you work out in a really nice way for you. Obviously, it didn't happen that great for the person who was promoting cartoons, but this is the way Gaelic Driact kind of works. Like, unexpected things happen. It's unexpected, benevolent change. Things are going to change anyway, and sometimes things are going to happen and change in an unexpected way, but it may as well be benevolent to you. It's unexpected benevolent change. That's what comes from Gaelic Driact. And it seems like, this might seem like stupid self-help stuff to you, and that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I'm not arguing with you. I don't need anybody to agree with me on this. It's just me deepening my understanding, really. So if you don't agree with it, it really doesn't matter. And you can comment and let me know how you feel about it. I'm really interested in whether this lands with you, or you think, oh, that's stupid self-help stuff. That's fine too. No problem. So it's Gaelic Driact. This is where it all comes from. And I'm going to go even further than that. Talk about Thomas Sheridan's book. I'm going to talk about Thomas Sheridan's book, The Druid Code. And I'm going to say that the original place this comes from is the Atlantean civilization. But it was passed on to the Gaelic people, who then passed on to many, many other cultures. So what Scott Adams, if you read this book, what Scott Adams talks about, he really touched the surface as far as affirmations. He kind of says that, yes, say, I will be a famous cartoonist, is what he was saying, or maybe other things, but it's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. And if you want to have a full rundown, check the Look for Warriors website. There's more information there. But a couple of things. First of all, it's got to be in the present tense. You got to say it in the present tense. You got to say I am. That's why I am the greatest from Muhammad Ali worked so well. You got to say I am, not I will be, because I will be is in the future tense. The future never comes. It's always will be, always will be. You've got to say in the present tense, I am. Now, let's say you want to make, let's say you want to drive BMW, for example. You can say, I am driving a BMW, but your unconscious may say back to you. You may feel your conscious are just, there's a cognitive distance there that, it doesn't click, because your conscious is saying, you're not driving a BMW. I know you're not driving a BMW. One way around that is you can say Misha. If you're Gaelic, you can say Misha. And Misha just means I am in Irish. And you can mix it with Irish and English. Misha. Misha cartoon. Misha famous cartoonist. And of course, it's just affirmations. You can say like Misha era. Misha Driact. All that kind of stuff you can just say. But you can use the Irish language. That can help. But also, it's the way the Gaelic people would have done it would have been as a standard system. In the morning, at night right before falling asleep, and maybe once or twice during the day. It takes literally 5 or 10 minutes, but you've got to go through it's good to go into a slight meditation where you completely relax yourself. Maybe meet the goddess, maybe go to the Dagda's cauldron, but get into the vision. Get right into the vision of where you want to be and see it, feel how you would feel in that moment. See it, feel it, maybe taste it, whatever it is. But feel the feeling. That is the most important thing. Feel the feeling that you would feel. when you're in that affirmation, in the thing you want. That is the most important thing. What's going to happen afterwards, you forget about it, get your work done, do whatever you need to do, bring your kids to school, whatever you do, just carry on with your life. But work towards it as well. Action. The universe rewards action, so work towards what you want to do. Get the action done, do the action. But a series of coincidences, unexpected benevolent changes will happen in your life, which will look like coincidences. And this is the way Gaelic Driact works. This is the way Gaelic Driact works. And it seemed like a bunch of crazy coincidences, but you will go to a really, really beautiful place. Now, Scott Adams says that he used affirmations for a period of time and got into a really good place. And then there was a number of things that he was doing, like a restaurant, like a TV show, and you know, these kind of things. And he stopped. He figured, well, you know, I'm doing really well. I'm obviously doing it. And by the way, this happened to me as well. I'm doing really well. I'm obviously doing it. I'm causing all this. So it's the actions I'm taking. So I really don't need the affirmations anymore. And he stopped doing the affirmations, and it all fell apart. All the things he didn't do the affirmations all fell apart. So just something to consider. Gaelic Driact, really, really important. So the last concept I want to talk about is what Scott Adams says, that life is a slot machine. So when you go into a casino, for example, and you play the slot machines, you put your money in, and they're set up. I see the slot machines as an IQ test, really, because they're set up in order for you to lose money over time. You have to lose money over time, otherwise the casino wouldn't still be open. So the people who keep putting money into slot machines, it might feel like fun at the moment, but it is really an IQ test of whether you can work out that there's no way these machines would be here if people won. If people won over the long term, the machines wouldn't be there. So I've no problem gambling. I'll gamble with friends, maybe play a game of poker or something like that, where the odds are we all have exactly the same odds. But I won't gamble. Maybe from somewhere I might gamble some money, but I'll never gamble any kind of amount of money where I know the odds are set up against me. Why would you do it? It just doesn't make any sense. But what Scott Adams says is life is like a slot machine. Life is actually like a slot machine where you don't have to put any money down. You need to put your time and your focus and your Driact down. Your time, focus and Driact. And because of that, you can't lose. Because let's say you get nothing out of it. Let's say you do these affirmations, nothing comes out of it. You haven't lost anything. You've lost a little bit of time, which you were going to spend watching the TV, or you're going to spend worrying, or doing something else anyway. So you lose absolutely nothing. You've absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if nothing comes out of it, it doesn't matter. You might be a little bit disappointed, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And that's the way to look at it as well. It doesn't matter. Never put down all your money on something like this, or never put yourself in a difficult situation. Just carry on with your life, and the Gaelic Driact will work. Thank you, my friends. So think of life as a slot machine where you never have to put money in. Thank you, my friends. Go to Mila Madagut, and remember, Tá ar lá an seo.